Hello, students. This is my third class in the series for GT writing students, GT students of IELTS. And in this class, I'll be focusing on the advantages, disadvantages type of opinion essay. Now, this is an opinion essay. You have to go both sides, you have to write both sides in this essay. And the next class will be on discuss essay. So it's very important for you that you attend that class also to see how the handling of a discuss essay is different from that of an advantages disadvantages essay. And in this class I have compiled 10 advantages disadvantages essays from the GT past essays. These are the actual essays seen in the past GT exams. So do go through the other essays also in this book to be completely aware of the advantages, disadvantages, essays which have come in the past exams, as these essays are being repeated. The very first essay in front of you is: some companies and organizations require their employees to wear uniform. What are the advantages and disadvantages of wearing a uniform? Now, advantages disadvantages essay mostly to the academic students is asked whether the advantages of something are more than the disadvantages. For example, the same essay, if it is seen in the academic test, it will be: some companies and organizations require their employees to wear uniform. Do you think the advantages of this are more than the disadvantages? But mostly I have seen in that for the GT students, they don't ask what is more, they generally ask to write the advantages and disadvantages. Yet I feel that in the introduction, if you just write your opinion on what you think is more, it would be better. Because for a 7 band descriptor, it is clearly written that the candidate should have taken a stand. Now, the stand will come if you say what is better, what is more. That will be your stand, your opinion. So I just advise, but even if you don't write, it's not that it will be wrong. So in this essay, you have to write the advantages and disadvantages of wearing a uniform at work. So when you wear a uniform at work, there's a term for that. And this also I tell my students that you should know such terms, because if you add that term, you make it clear to the examiner that you are aware of the topic. And for this essay, the term is dress code. So this essay is on the advantages and disadvantages of dress code. So in the intro, you will, this is a situation and you are asked about the advantages and disadvantages. So this is your opinion essay. So just paraphrase the first line, that in some organizations or in some firms, a dress code is mandatory. In this essay, I will write the benefits and drawbacks of having a dress code at work. That is it. That is what is needed. Okay? You can add, I believe the advantages of a dress code are far more than the disadvantages. I have in this file only, there are all these essays completely solved also. So you can go through all the essays. I'll just be explaining you 10 essays of advantages and disadvantages. Nowadays, a lot of people are able to do their work from home. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this development. Now, for this question, the lot of people are able to do their work from home. Work from home, there is a term for that. Now, you add that term in your essay, and that will tell the examiner that you are aware, you have done your homework, you've prepared well for your exam. And that term for this essay is telecommuting. Telecommuting, not telecommunicating, telecommuting. TELECOMMUTING. Now, in this essay, they've asked you the advantages and disadvantages of telecommuting. So, telecommuting has advantages to the employees, it has advantages to the employers, and it has advantages to the environment also. So, as you read the essay, you will come to know all about the advantages and disadvantages of telecommuting, that is, working from home. Okay. The third essay in the series is some people prefer to be self employed, whereas others like working for companies or institutions. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of both approaches. Which do you think is a better approach? So here they've also asked you which is better. In any case, even if they don't ask you, I would suggest you write what you think is more, whether the advantages are more or the disadvantages are more. So here, self-employed or working for a company, you have to compare the two, and you have to write the advantages in one para. You can write the advantages and disadvantages of being self-employed. In the second body para, you can write the advantages and disadvantages of working for a company. And then in the intro and conclusion, you can also mention what you think is um, a better approach, whether self employed is being a better approach. But I feel that initial stages of one's career, one should always work for someone and get the know how of the work life, of the business life, and then venture into opening one's own, startup, or opening one's own um, firm or a company. In many countries, teenagers are encouraged to do part time jobs. What's the situation like in your country? What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of doing part time jobs? So, here you can see that the situation in your country has been asked, and this is teenagers doing part time jobs. The same essay can come as university students do part time jobs. So, just see there is a difference. When university students do part time jobs, it is a different thing. When teenagers do part time jobs, it is a different thing. So, in your country, in India especially, maybe in the big metropolitan cities, the trend is coming up, but as yet, in the small towns and cities, teenagers, that is, school students doing part time jobs, is not very common. So, you must mention the situation in your country. Otherwise, task achievement band score will be cut down, and then you have to write the advantages and disadvantages of doing part time jobs for teenagers, for the school students. And then you must also mention what you think is more. The next essay is in some countries, it is common for women to participate in the workforce when their children are young. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this trend? So just paraphrase the first line and then write that in this essay I'll write the benefits and drawbacks of women working when their children are young. Basically, this essay is a little more than an essay on maternity leave. This is when the children are young, women go out to work, so children in the after school hours have to be taken care of. They have to be with someone, or they, you have to see the advantages and disadvantages. The sample essay is there in this file. So do go through all these essays and you'll know how to attempt them in a better way. The next essay is some employers want to be able to contact their staff at all times, even on holidays. Does this development have more advantages than disadvantages? Now, this is the way. Does this development have more advantages than disadvantages? This is the way mostly essays are asked to the academic students. But you can see that this is a GT essay, and here also it has been asked in the same way. Not just write the advantages and disadvantages, okay? Sorry for that. So you have to write this connectivity between the employer and the employee. So the employee, may not even, get any free time. Even when he's at home, there will be stress of being connected. But at the same time, there will be advantages that the employee can look after some family commitments, yet be connected to the office so that for any urgent matter can be connected. So you read this essay, you'll come to know the advantages and disadvantages. Next is in some companies, people of different ages work together in the same team. Do you think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Here it is people of different ages, means in one team there are young people, in one team there are old people, um, slightly older people. So here you have to write the advantages. So I would say advantages are more, because then young people's knowledge of technology and the experience of the old people will be working together, and so every things will have a chance of being better, done in a better way. Okay, so go through this essay. There are points there. You have to write both advantages and disadvantages of mixed age people working together. Nowadays, as part of the educational process, students work at a company for a short period of time without pay. Do the advantages of this outweigh the disadvantages? This is an essay on unpaid internships. See the term here, unpaid internships. So you have to write the advantages and disadvantages of unpaid internships. You know, when you do engineering, there is 2 months training in the, I think, third or fourth sem, and then 6 months training in the seventh or eighth sem. And this is generally, the what you have to write, the advantages and disadvantages of this training. You have to write, but you have to keep in mind that they are asking only the advantages and disadvantages of this training if it is done without pay. In some countries, schools are open till late so that students can be looked after when parents are at work. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages. So, in some countries, schools are open till late. Till late means that, like normally schools are from 9 to 2, so the school will be open till 6 or even 7 p.m. So, that is the situation. And here, like, they are called day boarding schools. So, the term for such schools is day boarding schools. So you have to write the advantages and disadvantages of day boarding schools. Now the next essay is, in many countries there are an increasing number of private cars. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this trend? So there are, in many countries there is an increasing number of private cars. Cars are increasing. So you have to write the advantages and disadvantages of more number of private cars. So in the advantages, just for the family, for the personal use, you can write advantages, and at the same time, you can write the advantages to the whole nation, because this is an industry, and this is giving employment to many. Okay, so this you have to write the advantages as well as the disadvantages, and just mention what you think is more. So these are 10 essays which I have discussed. Then there are all the sample answers for these 10 essays. And at the end, I have given one essay for you as a homework. So you have to write this essay, and you have to send to me on WhatsApp at my number. I hope all of you have my number, but you have to send me on WhatsApp at this number. And you have to mention that uh, you have gone through the essay, and gone through the essays, and then you have attempted the homework. Please don't attempt the homework without reading all these essays, because you'll know, that how to attempt the advantages disadvantages essay. Now this essay is, free public transportation should be available in most major cities all the time. I mean, this is free, absolutely free. The bus would be absolutely free, the train would be absolutely free. So you have to write the advantages and disadvantages of having free public transport. You must mention what you think is more, and that will be about the homework for today. So this was my class which I had compiled for you, the very first class in the series which I made. In that, I touched on the total number of essays that can be seen, total type of essays that can be seen. Then I discussed the agree disagree essay in the first class. In the second class, it was the positive negative development type of opinion essay, and this is the advantages disadvantages. Now we have the discuss essay, the problem solution essay, and direct question essay. Direct question and problem solution I club in one. So we have discuss essay and problem solution essay, two more close classes left in this series, and then there will be three classes on the three types of letters which are seen in the IELTS. And in these 8 classes, the writing task 1 and 2 will be touched upon. I hope you enjoy learning in this way. I hope you find this way simple and meaningful. Let me know your comments if you go through this in the same phone number I've mentioned at the end. Thank you very much for watching patiently.